What's up everyone, Clayton here, and today we're back with another Skyrim build. Today's build is called the Woodsman, and this character is a wood elf. Let's go ahead and get started with the backstory for this build, which goes as follows. The Woodsman was an Altmer Dominion agent. His main mission or job was to escort Thalmor agents to Skyrim from Altmer Dominion lands. Inside Skyrim, the Altmer Dominion, or the Thalmor, would uphold the Right Gold Concordat and make sure no Talish worship was going on inside of Skyrim. He had been on many missions between Altmer Dominion lands and Skyrim, and on his very last mission, the camp was ambushed and attacked by werewolves. He managed to escape, but he did get bit by one of the werewolves. He found out that this bite had gave him amazing powers and be able to turn into werewolves. He used his new werewolf power to track down the werewolves that ruined his last mission and killed them. He knew that he could not go home with his new beast power because he did not know if he could control it. He decided to spend the rest of his days in the forest of Skyrim, living with the beasts. His new mission was to make sure the forest and the creatures of Skyrim's forests were safe and no poachers or any other bandits would hurt them. One day he was caught in an Imperial ambush to catch Jarl Ulfric's Stormcloak and was taken to Helgen, and that's where the whole story of Dragonborn really begins. So let's go ahead and talk about the skills that you'll be using for this build. The one-handed, archery, sneak, and alchemy are your main skills that you'll be using. Restoration is always really good too to make sure you stay alive, but I would probably put that on the back burner until you get the perks in one-handed, archery, sneak, and alchemy all the way up. One-handed, you'll be using dual-wield kind of swords and an axe. I use one of the elven swords that you'll be using since you'll be kind of an Altmer Dominion. That's what they would use, and you kind of just hold that over from your past days as that. I also have the Poacher's Axe, which might not make much sense, but I kind of think of it as that he is in the forest, he has to make shelter somehow, so he uses his axe to cut down trees to make a house. This doesn't really negate the fact he's defending the forest. He kind of has to live there, so he makes his own little shack. Maybe you can make a log cabin with hearth fire. There's one in the pine forest, which is by Falkreath, that you can make. Archery is also really good. Since he still needs to be able to eat, he'll hunt elk as he sees fit, but does not kill for no reason. He'll kill the elk because he needs to feed. And he also uses this to hunt bandits and other poachers that are destroying his forest. Sneak is also really good, just to be able to sneak into bandit strongholds and take them out quickly. And alchemy is also very good as well. You can craft poisons or maybe potions to make sure you can either do damage to people or heal yourself if you would take a lot of damage. So with the skills out of the way, let's go ahead and talk about the gameplay. I talked about it a little bit, but pretty much you just want to be defending the forest from anything that you see that would hurt it. This would be like poachers or bandits. Hunters can be in your forest, that's fine, but just make sure you kind of just have some sort of moral compass saying like if poachers are around killing animals for no reason, then you should probably kill those poachers because they're hurting the forest. But people who just use the forest as like hunting for their family, that's okay. But you just kind of make up your own decisions as you go, and if you really want to roleplay it, you can do stuff like that. Also, if you really want to, you can do the regular storyline missions, but just have it as a reason you're doing it is to defend the forest from the dragons or something like that. Or maybe vampires, you could destroy the vampires because they're hurting the forest or something like that. You kind of just make up your own little backstory as you go. And also, if you guys do not forget, you are a werewolf, so if you decide that you want to take over a bandit stronghold, maybe you have the werewolf power that you use to be able to attack them better, since your normal skills might not be enough, and then you can eat the enemies to get more werewolf perks to become stronger, and become more of a beast like the people or the creatures in the forest that you protect. So with that out of the way, let's go ahead and talk about the armor and weapons. I talked about it a little bit, but for the armor, you'll be using light armor, which will be the fur armor that you get from like the animals that you kill for food. You use their fur as armor, and there's different sets of fur armor. There's just pick whatever one you really like. For the weapons, I use an elven sword and the poacher's axe, like I said before. And for the bow, I use an elven bow to say that he kept it over from his time as Altmer Dominion. And for shouts that I use during this build, it would probably be a good idea to use like Animal Allegiance or Kind's Peace. These all revolve around animals. One of them makes it so that animals will fight by your side, and another one will allow that animals will be calmed down and run away from combat. That way you don't have to kill bears or anything that are attacking you, unless you really want to. And for the stat spread, make sure you have a lot of health and stamina, and there's not a lot of magicka you'd be using, so I probably wouldn't put any points in the magicka. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this build. I know it's a little bit of a different, kind of a more role-playing build as a kind of a woodsman who tries to stay away from the people and tries to defend his forest. But hopefully you guys enjoyed, and if you guys haven't already checked out these 2 videos, make sure to do that. And thank you guys for watching, and this is Clayton, signing out.